So we are looking at different things here, like looking at the campaign data, looking at the sales data, looking at the leads that are generated to the campaigns and how many leads have been completed so far, uh, how much of the campaign responses have been generated, and how these campaigns have been basically managed and handled. So if you look at this dashboard, you're looking at the data of today, you're looking at different campaigns that you're running in, what's the pipeline that you can contribution that you're targeting today, and number of responses by first responder date. So how many responses have you seen based on how many emails you might have sent or how many invitations you might have sent for some different camps like webinars and things like that. And once our campaigns are run, this is actually where you're looking at contribution from marketing. So once an opportunity has been identified from the campaign, then how they have progressed through your goal cycles. So, how many of goals identified, confirmed, how many times you've reached the champion or proven the value of the negotiating, and then how many have won and how many you lost. So this gives you a very good way of looking at your opportunities generated by marketing campaigns. Number of opportunities that you generated. So again, number of opportunities with zero values and number of opportunities with some value. So as you can see here, actually there are a lot of opportunities where there is no value. So that tells you that people were interested in a product or services. They wanted to know more about it, but then eventually there was no further progress or discussion where there was no goal identified. And I think so that basically tells you that a lot of these opportunities, there is no opportunity value assigned to it. Again, we are looking at opportunity creators, so who created these opportunities from a sales perspective, which functions or departments, so marketing and sales and alliance, different functions within the organization, opportunity owner function. So again, we are looking at different functions here. And the key also is also non-marketing influence and marketing influence. So how many opportunities were actually influenced by marketing and how many were not, and that you can basically look at it by going back to the lead itself and understanding how really that lead came to an existence. Either it came through an email campaign or a webinar campaign or some kind of social media campaign, or it basically was a reference from an existing customer. So those are the kind of things that you look at from the influence by marketing people or not. Campaign profile, you're looking at online, so different type of campaigns. You're looking at online marketing, so social media driven direct marketing, where you are actually sending out emails or webinar invites. In events, you may be hosting any events, conferences, seminars. As you can see here, internal business development. So it's more about direct calling by the sales guy, lead generation people. Direct marketing campaigns, so again, those kind of things. So this gives you, again, a very good perspective of what campaign is really working for you, what kind of campaign is working for you. Again, the data here is not just from Salesforce. The data can come from your Google Analytics. Data can come from your mobile apps if you're doing any sales process. Data can come from your Facebook, Twitter, any other campaigns, online digital campaigns that you're running in, and that data can basically come in and you can look at that data from the campaign perspective. And you can further drill down. So online marketing, I want to drill down, then basically it will tell you what happened in that campaign. So it's email, webinar, download, and things like that. So top campaigns, so which campaigns we actually ran, whether it was finance campaign, whether it was a sales campaign, whether it was an operations or HR campaign or any other campaign based on the location or whatever, global event or things like that, or awards that you got, which industry or sector that you were targeting in terms of campaigns and how the response has been so far, line of business, so marketing, field marketing, who is running these campaigns. This will allow you to look at different sectors, so you can actually go to different ways in which you are looking at this information here, seeing profile criteria. And then we are looking at campaign performance. So we look at each individual campaign and then look at what's the lead score. So less than 0 is basically 0 to 49. So you're assigning scores based on your internal benchmarks now. and see which campaign was more successful. So Global 2001 OM was the most successful here, and 12 was successful then. There are different campaigns here, which basically shows you how the success rates has been. So this again tells you from the campaign perspective how your campaign and marketing team is doing, what kind of work they are doing from in terms of getting the right information. Again, campaign details, so you're looking at campaigns, what the campaign was, what is the opportunity value that you generated, how many opportunities you generated, number of people that you targeted, number of campaign members, responses, so on and so forth. So, and you can basically look at this. The number of targets were 121,000, and number of campaign members 120,000, number of responses 120,000. So obviously you've got a very good success rate there. And then you can link to the campaign section within Salesforce CRM to go and see how the campaign was run and then all the details that you would like to see. So what kind of opportunities were generated, the name of the people, name of the company, all the kind of information that you're looking for. So we are looking at different things here and different ways in which you can analyze the campaign data. Now, basically, let's go back and look at the customer analysis part of it. So now we are going to look at data, not just the sales data, but also the customer data. So this becomes a very important aspect when you're looking at what happened within the sales, who are my salespeople, what kind of sales I'm having, and also going a little bit more where you're looking at profit and some other numbers, which is not directly a Salesforce data itself, but also data coming from your ERP systems, and then trying to basically leverage that data set with the Salesforce data set to understand what kind of profits are you generating, what kind of revenues are you generating from the same customer base, and things like that. So here, as you can see here, we're looking at net sales change, gross profit. We are looking at sales by customer type, sales type, branch type. Top customers by different mean, different dollars price. So we are looking at customers by what's giving you most number of dollars and things like that. Let's look at the KPIs first, then we come back. This gives you by sales wise. So who's the most profitable sales guy here, how they are generating the sales and how they're generating the revenues. What are the revenue value bands? I think this is one of the very, very important concepts where we're looking at what's the typical revenue size or what the deal opportunity that your salespeople are really going after. So I think so. Also very important is how many new customers you acquired, how many new customers you lost, how many there was no change. So as you can see here, you are actually going, the customer trend is that you are increasing the new customer base. You are getting new customers. You can see from 13 to 14. You're losing less customer. That is good because that means you are increasing the retention, as you can see here. The revenue bands are very important because this tells you basically what's the average deal that you're closing for this customer. As you can see, the 63% of your deals are actually less than $20,000. So that means that there is a lot of small customers that you're acquiring, a lot of new customers. You are probably just trying out your products or services right now. They are not basically getting into the multi-million-dollar customers that you're looking for. Only 10% of your customers are actually more than $200,000. So this gives a very good perspective of where the sales efforts are being put in, and I think so. This is something where an organization can look back and say, "Hey, we need to do something about this. We can't just really get customers in a lower value band. We need to focus on some of these higher value bands here, like especially more than $100,000." So this is where I think so. There's a lot more collaborative discussion that can happen at a senior level to figure out how do we really get it done. Now, it also may happen that your product and services are very low cost. So obviously, even if you try and sell a lot more, you're still not going to reach this benchmark. But that may not be the case here. So a revenue and margin analysis, as you can see, it basically gives you a trend line in terms of whether when the revenue is going up, what happens to your margin, and so on and so forth. Again, this gives you a very good perspective of a typical customer, and then you can actually drill down further here. And this can give you a customer-wise, basically, what happens with that customer. So I don't know whether the revenue went down or whether revenue went up or profitability went up. So, and this gives again a margin information. So what, as and when we start selecting, or I start clicking things here, as you can see, the selections are highlighted in green. The values that are relevant to those selections are white, and what is not relevant to that selections are grayed out, as you can see here. So this gives you a very good perspective as a business user to know what exactly you're looking for in terms of information. Let's go back to the customer analysis. I'll just click on customer analysis here. Now, looking at the top 10 customers, I'm looking at my top 10 or top 15 or top 25 customers, for example, here. I want to analyze how much revenue they're contributing, how much money they're really contributing to this, my organization, how much money they're contributing to my overall profit. So as you can see here, my total sales are $6 billion. Let's look at just one. My total sales were $2.6 billion, and my contribution by top 15 was $700 odd. So they are almost, if you look at it, they are almost close to 28% of your total sales. So that means these are big customers that you would like to contribute. As you can see, 27% of your sales is coming from these customers. And then look at the profit. So your total overall profit is $400 million and $78 million, almost 20%. So a pretty consistent number, like 27% of your revenue is giving you 20% of profit. So you want to really work with these customers. Now, as you go more and more, so I want to look at my top 25 customers actually and see what they contribute. As you can see, the incremental 10 customers didn't bring much revenue. It's only increased by a few percentage points, but they do bring in additional profit because your profits actually improved. So that also tells me that largest of your customers are actually not very profitable. And that can be true for a lot of companies because you're looking at volume of business, you're looking at customers who are sustaining, who are working with you for many years. Over a period of time, they negotiated better contracts with you and give you higher volumes and so on and so forth. So obviously, not most of the time your top customers in terms of revenue may not be the most profitable ones. And especially that's the reason you are trying to bring in more additional new customers so that profits can improve. But idea is how much focus you want to give it to your top 10, top 25, top 15 versus the new customers that you're coming on board, because there is always a cost of those new customers, right? Now, you're looking at most profitable 25 customers here, and then basically looking at what they are bringing to the table for you. So this is the kind of analysis. Now, other thing that we typically do is a focus quadrant analysis. So this tells you basically your underperformers, your profit focus or sales focus customers, and so on and so forth. The reason this quadrant analysis is very important, basically telling your salespeople that there are customers who are very good customers and they give you very good profit, but they are very small in terms of the size, in terms of the profit revenue that they bring in. So you are making 80% margin, but that 80% translates only into $1,000, then that's not a big deal. So then how do you actually try and sell more with these customers? How do you try and actually make more money with this customer? And basically, idea is there a way for us to focus on sales? So, and that's a sales-focused customer. Now, profit-focused customer, which are typically the large customer that we just analyze, we are looking at the data and we're saying, okay, these are large customers. They're giving us millions of dollars in revenue. Is there a way I can improve my profits with them? Is there a way I can add some value-added products or services to them? Is there a way I can better negotiate my prices or reduce my cost of what I'm doing with them? So that's how typically it gives an organization an opportunity to look at what you can do. And there are underperformance. Now, this benchmark, which you see 30% here, so as an organization, my benchmark is I need to make minimum 30% profit on every customer. And I need to have at least 30% growth in terms of my sales from every customer. So this is where you're looking at your underperformers, especially customers with negative sales and negative profit. Obviously, you want to go and either renegotiate contract with them or basically tell them that you don't want to sell anything more because you are not really making any money, or figure out is something that you're doing there which is not in line with what you do across your organization. So I think so when you're looking at data from Salesforce, when you're looking at data from campaigns, when you're looking at data from customer side, there is a lot of different analysis that you can drive, and I think that analysis really helps you. So one of the things that we also look at is a trend analysis, right? So what is your trend? And I'm looking at a trend here for 3 years. So what's the trend here from the customer sales perspective? Who is my most profitable customer, and how the ranking is impacting really? So I'm going to look at a customer with the highest sales here, and then looking at the ranks. Suddenly, as you can see, I have a customer which has shot to a rank 8 from. So basically, in 2013, they hardly had any sales, and now suddenly, I see them that they have $30,000 worth of sales. Now, these are the customers that you really want to focus and see what you can do with these customers. I think this is one of the areas that we have seen largely that salespeople would like to focus and analyze and understand really what they want to do about them. This is your people performance chart, so that basically tells you somebody who is consistently low ranked and consistently coming up or not, and things like that. So as you can see, Dornhofer, Douglas, Trishul, these are typically consistently high performers from last many years, but then there are consistently low performers, especially. And you want to figure out why they are not really performing well. Is there a way that you can really do something for them so that they can perform better? So this is an example again of how do you analyze campaigns, how do you analyze sales, how do you analyze customer data. Now let's look at something else. Now we are looking at Salesforce data coming in, and then we are looking at a specific customer directly, so or a specific salesperson. So you're looking at Alfredia Caseta here, and you're looking at how many deals are closed and won, what was the quota, percentage of deals closed last in Q2 of 2011, how many accounts has been managed, what is the best that she was able to do, what are the committed numbers and things like that, how the total deal size have worked out at different stages, so ideal stage versus actual stage, so those kind of things, and then you're looking at amount left to close and close date. So this gives, again, a very good perspective when you're looking at performance management, because everybody has a quota in terms of sales. So you are now looking at each individual person here, and I can go and select now and Daryl, for example, and then looking at his numbers. As you can see, he is actually way behind his quota. You know that for sure. He's not going to meet his numbers because he's just close 33%. So now these are the people that you want to go and talk with and understand what's really going with them. I know what kind of opportunities they have in their pipeline, what kind of effort they are making out there, and if you have to make any changes in the side of the account or the opportunities that they're handling, giving somebody more experience to work with them so that they can do a better job in closing deals and things like that. Let's look at the pipeline analysis for him, and then if you look at here, the close date, loss, so those kind of things. So why go into an analysis of why these deals were closed, whether it was because of the pricing was not correctly done, the opportunities was not correctly identified, the decision maker was not really provided the right information about company's value proposition and things like that. So these are the areas, again, going back and understanding, analyzing what's being really and the forecast. I think that this is where I think that we are doing more forecast-based approach, where we are actually forecasting the accuracy of the deals, forecasting the accuracy of pipeline, and basically we have something on the predictive side which I wanted to demonstrate. So let me refresh that quickly since we are on the forecast, and I will go on and quickly show you that. Now, this is a very simple model that we built based on the historical sales and the revenue that was generated in the past, and then basically forecasting based on that historical sales, what will be your sales in the upcoming quarters and upcoming years. So let's quickly look at these numbers here. As you can see here, we have sales year, month, and the sales that was there and the year. And this is the forecast that is being basically thrown up by our predictive model. Now, as a salesperson or as a sales director, you say, I think so. I don't want to take into account any revenues for the current year because it's still not over. I want to only look at the completed years, last 2 years. I'm going to select last 2 years, and basically my forecasting model in real time is going to go back and give me a new forecast based on that. So this is really what we are leveraging is the predictive capabilities of statistical tools like R engine, where we built a forecasting model based on data set which the user can integrate. So as a business user, you don't need to know the code behind or the technical aspects of how it really works. You just need to basically come in. This application will be there. You can drag in the forecasting chart and say, I want to see the forecast, and automatically it will show you the forecast based on the selections that you're making here. So that's basically what we are trying to do. So let me show an application. This is an example of where we have done the same thing. And there's another application that I wanted to show, which is basically, so here now we are looking at a forecast. So it's exactly same concept. So based on the pipeline that is coming in from Salesforce, as you can see here, open pipes, and this also gives me my coverage and the health of my pipe. So based on the color coding, as you can see, less benchmarks that you may have, we are color coding those coverage. So red means basically the coverage is not adequate based on the KPIs or the benchmarks that you define. Yellow means it's within the range, but it's not really green. And also the forecast, so how much money that you think that this salesperson, Heidi, is actually going to make in Q2 and the first half and the next year. So this is really where you're forecasting how this person is going to perform. And actually you can click on the forecast here and see the data. So basically now let's look at the pipeline gap of this person. Now, as you can see here, this person has many product areas that in the opportunity pipeline. The cover requirements for this person is here. So required cover is, as you can see in the green, this is what the person is supposed to maintain in terms of opportunity pipeline based on the targets that are given to her. And now let's say I want to look at my FY16 Q2. And as you can see that there's a gap of $1.3 million in the product area for RA and $3.9 million in the SV. Now, basically, that means this person needs to bring in more opportunities at the product level or the product group level, as you can see here, so that she can meet her numbers for the Q2. Now, Q2 is already gone. I want to see Q3. As you can see, Q3, based on how the opportunities are really there in Salesforce, you can see there are certain areas where she has better coverage than what is expected of her. We can also now go down actually and see the pipeline itself. So these are all your opportunities that Heidi has, and basically the health of those opportunities. You can click on these opportunities and actually you can go back to Salesforce and look at them in more details. This gives you a very concise way of looking at win laws, inside likely to win and outside the realm right now. So basically 24.8 million is where she needs to focus more and more, and also gives her quota and how much attainment she has and things like that. Now we are looking at Q3, that's why the attainment is low now. As you can see, our attainment has been 102% in Q1. Our attainment has been just 9%. Again, we don't have the data right now, but basically that's what we are looking at in terms of where she is, how she is, and you can look at the pipeline and other information here. So this is, I think, so the way in which basically we are looking at people and how their accounts are being managed, how they are looking at different information, different accounts in terms of the pipeline values and so on and so forth. And the other thing that I wanted to showcase about is the social media. So each data month we provide not only just the data from Salesforce, but also data about from social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Google Analytics, the campaigns that you're running on a digital side, and basically allows you to look at how customers and consumers that we're talking about your products or services, whether how that impacts your overall brand, overall sales performance. And like, for example, we had a customer who was really looking at how a bad performance review about a car is driving their sales down for that specific car in the market and those kind of things. So basically, you can combine your forecast data, sales data, and what customers or consumers are talking outside in the digital market, media world, social media places, and figure out whether are they going to meet your numbers or not. And that's very true for a lot of products. We bring in data from Amazon reviews and things like that. So there is a lot of that that can be analyzed here. That's just one example. Then also, if you're running campaigns on Google Analytics, then again, we're looking at the data in terms of demographics and customer behavior and tied back to your digital audience in terms of who's coming and how they are coming and so on and so forth. This is actually our own data set for our company. So these are the various things that we can provide you. Again, coming back, this is more of a way to showcase different ways in which you can look at your Salesforce data, your customer data, looking at the performance of the people within the sales organization, which products, which categories, how you are closing your pipeline, what's your typical win rate, how much opportunity cover you should have. So there is a lot that can be analyzed. And again, as I said, the setup is pretty simple. You go in, we will provide a cloud-based platform that we provide, or we can implement this within your organization. And basically, with the connector, you can just put your username and password, and basically it will bring in all the data from Salesforce. We can reload this data, refresh this data every hour, every 15 minutes, 20 minutes, every day, again, based on how frequently you want to update this data set. Just doing a recap again. So from each data launch, being an BI application analytics company, our objective is to basically help our customers to focus more on data analysis side rather than actually thinking about how they can get there. And idea is to have all these applications pre-built, pre-decided, pre-integrated, so that you as a business users can start focusing more on analyzing the data for your customers, for your salespeople, for your products and services that you're marketing and selling, as opposed to what should I do with data? How do I analyze this data? How do I bring this data together? So I think that's where we try and excel and help our customers. So I know we have 5 more minutes left, and we had some challenges earlier in the people trying to get into our webinar. So I would like to stop now and open the platform for people to ask questions. So if anybody has any questions, I would be happy to answer them. If there are no questions, we will end the webinar now, and then As usual, we'll have the video of our webinar available on our website, as well as we'll be sending out a link to everybody who registered for this webinar. Look for our upcoming series of webinars. We have more webinars coming up with customer analysis and some other interesting areas for an organization. So we look forward to seeing you there. And again, have a great day, wonderful week ahead, and thank you for your time. And we look forward to using some of these things, tools and technologies, and making your value from the data that you have. Thank you so much. Have a great day.